And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Monday, December 5th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories we read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, and here are some of the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Ahead of a meeting December 2nd between President Barack Obama and hundreds of Native American leaders, the administration unveiled new rules for tribal lands that officials say will expedite home building and energy development. The proposed changes, the first of its kind in 50 years, would open the door to badly needed housing development on reservations and for wind and solar energy projects that tribes have been eager to launch. The plan gives Obama another boosting point for the meeting with the leaders of the 565 federally recognized tribes that took place at the White House last week. Obama has been winning high praise amongst Native Americans. The president has appointed more Native Americans to high-level positions in his administration, signed laws to improve health care and law enforcement for Native Americans, and resolved a long-standing lawsuit over royalties for minerals on tribal lands. In February, Obama nominated Arvo McKinnon to serve as a federal judge. If confirmed, he would still be the only Native American actively serving on the federal bench. Two Lawrence journalism instructors are conducting a study that they hope will shed light on the way the media portrays diabetes amongst American Indians and lead to better health options. Teresa Trumbley-Lampson and Rhonda LaVAldo-Gayton, who are American Indian instructors at Haskell Indians University, said they've seen the effects that limited food choices on the reservations can have and understand the poor health conditions some Native Americans face, and that they believe the media largely ignores the issues, according to the Lawrence Journal World. They said they hope by conducting their research they can start a conversation that will lead to better reporting on the topic, that it could lead to better outlooks for people facing diabetes nationwide. For centuries, white people regularly put Africans, Native Americans, Islanders, or the disabled on display. A new Paris exhibit examines how this demeaning colonial tradition shaped discriminatory attitudes that linger on today. Curator Lillian Thuram, a former football star and now anti-racism advocate, says in an AP interview that the exhibit made him reflect on his own prejudices about the other, and he hopes it does the same for visitors to the Kwai Branley Museum. The exhibit, which opened last week, is at times a queasy experience. It includes the projected silhouette of the buttocks of the so-called Hottentot Venus and films of chained unidentified tribal dancers performing in Paris to a white man's shouted instructions. North Carolina's Cherokee and Governor Beverly Perdue finalized an agreement recently to allow live card dealers at the tribe's casino on the mountain in exchange for school districts getting millions of dollars annually as a piece of profits from the new games. The amended compact, which was signed in Raleigh by Perdue and Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians Principal Chief Mitchell Hicks, would let the tribes offer games beyond the electronic and video games now available at the Haraz Cherokee Casino and Hotel. The casino, which opened in 1997, has generated money for the Cherokee tribal projects and individual tribal members. It already employs 1,760 people, according to a study. The new games would mean another 400 new jobs, Perdue and the tribe has said. A trust formed to oversee the voluntary buyout of homes and businesses in the Tar Creek Superfund site in Oklahoma has begun to wind down its work. The federal government spent $46 million to buy property in Cardine, Hickerville, and Pitcher, Oklahoma, where years of lead and zinc mining left 60 million tons of waste piled up, and the ground was deemed unstable by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The Tar Creek site has been linked to elevated lead levels in young children. Dr. Mark Osborne, chairman of the Lead Impacted Communities Relocation Assistance Trust, told the Tulsa World that demolition work has been completed on property the trust purchased as part of the federal buyout. The plan involved 878 buyout offers, 96% of which were accepted, according to Osborne. The trust's final buyout offers were made months ago, and now the program is trying to dispose of the land purchased by the trust. Osborne said the land has been offered to the Quapaw tribe, which already had land holdings and residents living in the area. The Chinook Tribe says it's going to close its food bank in the small southwest Washington town of Chinook after 25 years because it can't afford the monthly building rental. Tribal Office Manager Jennifer Lagergren told the Daily News last week that the food bank serves about 70 to 80 families every month. The majority are not tribal members. She says the doors will close officially December 31st. She says there's no longer any money to pay the $100 monthly rent, which has cost the tribe only $50 a month because an area church had been contributing the other $50. Building rent has been paid out of donated money for the last 3 years. Lagergren says the food bank used to operate rent-free when tribal offices were located in the building, but it's had to pay out rent since tribal offices moved out. The Chinook Tribe has an estimated 2,900 members. About 660 Native American veterans in New Mexico are getting money owed to them. It's reimbursement of state income taxes wrongly withheld from their pay while they served in active military duty. The Daily Times reports the payments total more than $825,000 but fall short of the $1.2 million allocated for refunds. A 2008 law established a settlement fund to compensate Native American veterans who paid state taxes when they were on active duty. The legislature the following year allocated the dollars for that refund. The refunds apply only to veterans whose permanent residence was on tribal land during the time they served. A veteran's widow or dependents may also be eligible for the tax refund. The New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department says taxes were withheld because of an omission in paperwork. And that's going to be the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say thank you for joining with us and come back again soon. Miigwech.